Hi guys, Chef Che here training. So I've got 5 awesome team members here from Salt Bar. What we're going to do today is to watch a video about poaching eggs. Then I'm going to explain, the guys got a quick quiz in their hands, they're all going to answer. Then I'm going to explain some of the theories and the methodical ways to poach an egg. Then we're going to go over and we're going to set ourselves up over on the stove and we're all going to poach an egg. But what we'll do first is we'll watch a couple different theories about a couple of pommy chefs, how they reckon they poach eggs, and the guys are all going to watch it. There's one theory in here with a ladle that I've never done before, but I've pre-poached 2 eggs, one's in vinegar and one's with a ladle. And then basically what we're going to do after that is we're all going to poach an egg and we're going to see which we think the theory is the best. We'll also explain to the guys how they can figure out the freshness of an egg, and explain to them also about the day stamps on the side of the eggs, how they're printed, and how most eggs in commercial supermarkets are at least 2 weeks old before they actually get here. Alright, so I've got Jordan here. Hey Jordy. Alright. Got Remy here.
Hi.
Got Grace. Brad. What's your name?
I'm Kevin, yeah.
Kevin, oh, that's Kevin. And I'm Che, trainer. Alright, we're going to watch this video, okay?
About
And we got Blake.
style of
How many
poached egg
guys shuffle in so you can hear this?
I'm just going to do 3 different types of poached egg that I've looked at. First style that we're going to try is going to be the Alain de Casse one, which is from his book, which is a really, really good book, which I read when I first started cooking. This is how I taught myself how to do poached eggs. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm creating a vortex in the pan. The temperature of the water is, they call it shimmering. So it's basically just before it starts to simmer. And you can see there's a vortex there. Just let it die down a little bit and then just using a cup always, just drop your egg in like that. And you can see straight away the egg just starts to come together.
Alright, so I'm just going to pause and explain to you. So basically what he said there is that you've got a shimmer of water. You can see that he's created a vortex by spinning the water with the utensil that's spinned in the middle. So what that does is it'll centralise the egg and it'll centralise the yolk. The yolk and the egg, when you drop it into it, what happens is you've got 3 layers of albumin. Albumin are the thicker white parts of the calcium of the egg. You'll generally find that the wateriest part will float to the top. It'll become what we call the tail. The 2 other parts that are inside the egg will set on the outside, so you get a nice set on the outside, then you get a center set of white calcium and the albumin inside that, yeah? So what he's done there is by pointing there and showing you he's saying that's exactly what I just explained. Yeah, that's the weakest part of the egg. That's the wateriest part, and that's the part that generally at the end of it, before we serve, we'll snip off or we'll cut off with our paring knife, yeah?
In the bottom of the pan, so it gets caught in that little vortex. Now what you get with a standard egg is there's little layers of albumin on the outside, and they all cook slightly differently. So the stuff right at the edge of the egg cooks really, really quickly, and it's also quite watery, so it doesn't have any sort of texture to it. That's often what when you classically poach an egg, you'll trim off at the end. The vinegar, it helps the white bind together, and it also adds flavour. It's mainly there as a flavouring, and you're looking for a standard poached egg cooking for probably about 3.5 minutes. So you can see it's settled down and probably been about 2.5 minutes. Take it out. It's just a little bit softer, but to be honest, probably take that one out now. It'll continue cooking for a little bit of time afterwards. What you would normally do is you would blanch this, and then you would leave this in ice, gently trim off with a pair of scissors or a knife that little outside bit, and you've just got that perfect little poached egg there. The classic style of poached egg. Next up from the Food Network versus Alain de Casse. And basically what she does is she does a 1 part vinegar to 2 pound water ratio. This is almost like a little bath for the egg. They say it's best to do this over a sieve, and that gets rid of, you can see that dripping down there? That gets rid of that outside layer that we've basically taken off in that poaching process, and then just gently tip that into our solution of vinegar, salt, water. And what that's going to do is going to cure the inside albumin layer.
I'm going to pause it for a sec here, guys, because I tried the theory that we just got shown then, and it basically you need to push the egg and the vinegar in the water. It needs to stay there for at least 30 minutes for it to actually work properly. You'll see in a sec that when we keep watching the video, he eventually leaves that egg and the vinegar, equal parts vinegar and water, inside that little bowl for at least about 15 minutes, and the end result that comes out of it, the egg's really washy, it's really hasn't formed properly. And this is a theory of the way that this other people that they actually poach the eggs by putting it into warm water and vinegar at the start. It's curing the algae on the outside of the egg and actually is almost subconsciously poaching it without there being a flame at all. But then they still have to poach it again. So you're double handling the egg here to get an end result that basically isn't as good as the result we're going to do anyway. Yeah.
So basically, it's a form of pre-cooking. The final one that we want to try, poach it inside a ladle. Little tip for you, when you're breaking an egg, always break it onto a flat surface, never break it on the side, because you'll basically never get little shards of shell in there when you break it flat. Never tried this one before. Basically what we're going to do is, got a little bit of oil here, just going to coat my ladle with some oil, whack your egg into the ladle, and then just gently rest it. Again, the water's sort of shimmering is what a lady cat calls it. And then you're just letting it poach by sticking inside there. And what we should see happen is, because we've boiled the ladle, that albumin, the outside layer, should stick to the ladle. This is stainless steel. And then when we come to remove the other part of the egg, it should just naturally take off the outside layer and leave us with the inside. I'm not going to lie, I'm not looking too convinced about this one. You never know, could turn out badly, but it looks like it's stuck quite severely to this stainless steel ladle. Alright, so I'm going to take this out, let it drain off lightly. Whoa! You know what? That ain't half bad. Almost looks unnaturally round. Kind of, yeah, I guess it's like absolutely perfect. But again, it doesn't look like the most natural shape. So, egg looks like it's, yolk looks like nicely cooked, perfectly cooked on the outside. Maybe a tiny little bit more firm on the outside than this one. This one's taking quite a while. Yeah, I guess you could do it in a massive batch, it might save you time in the long run, but I've been in our bath for about 15 minutes. And as you can see, it's starting to lightly cure, holds its shape actually. So, it's lightly. So I guess we've learned one thing. Food Network's egg techers, it's not coming out too hot. I'm sure we're going to get loads of people comment and say, oh, you didn't leave it in the thing long enough. Oh, it's not. But, you know, I tried my best. That's my end result. So I've got 1, which is classical, 2, New Wave ladle techers, 3, the Food Network pepper, flaky salt. Hey, did you want to come taste an egg? Whoa, Yuki boy. So dark. Equally, I think, yeah, it's straight exactly the same way. I reckon though, this.
Alright guys, so we've watched 3 different theories of 3 different ways how to poach an egg. You can basically see that what I've done here earlier on, down here on the bottom, I'll show you in a sec, is I've got the eggs that I think that we probably would use. One is just poached in vinegar with the circulation motion, and the other one is poached with the ladle. But you can tell the difference, which I'll have a quick look at now. difference between the vinegar egg, and you can definitely tell the difference between the ladle egg. The vinegar egg is perfectly poached around the outside, it's holding its form, it's got a great shape. The ladle egg itself sort of got a bit of an outside frisbee effect look, and this part of the egg itself here is super really cooked. And you can see I can break away with my finger, push that part of the yolk away. That's the part that's stuck on top of the ladle, and then what you've got there is an egg, perfect poached egg. I mean, they're both great ways to poach an egg, but I would definitely say that I think the most obvious and the best way would be with the ladle. So what I'll get you to do, guys, also is we're going to get you all to grab an egg there each, and we're going to get you to rest on your egg in that water there, and I'll get you to tell me what happens if your egg floats or if your egg sinks. Okay, so Catherine, you want to grab your first egg there for me? Just place it into the water. Yep. Yep. Perfect. No. Just place it straight into the water. Yeah. So because it's sinking, that means it's actually fresh. Yeah. And it's laying on its side. So it's got a little bit of air there. It's got a little bit, but there's nothing wrong with it at all. You can actually see that the egg's sitting on the bottom. Yeah. If the egg floats, then obviously it's older than at least 2 weeks old. It also means that the egg's bad, guys. Yeah. All right. So we'll take that one out. Geordie, you want to grab an egg for us? Do the same thing again. Place your egg in the water. You can see again, the egg's sitting down on the side. It's a little bit older, but it's still a super fresh egg, yeah, because it's definitely not floating at all. Right, Brad, you want to grab an egg for us? Same again, lying on its side, definitely not floating. It's a little bit older, but it's definitely not floating, so there's nothing wrong with that egg at all, yep. Grace, you want to grab an egg for me? Thanks. Okay, same again, floating on its side. Definitely not floating at all, sorry, laying on its side, and it's underwater, so there's definitely nothing wrong with that egg either. Kevin, do you want to grab an egg for us? Right, same again. Egg's in the water, as you can see, on its side. What I'll show you quickly is that if the egg at all, when we place the egg down in, if it's actually bad, it'll bob at the surface like this, and then it'll actually roll like that onto its side, and it'll sit on the surface. Why it does that is because the egg itself, in the front part of it here, has got a greater air pocket. The eggs are porous, so they absorb air. Once they start absorbing more air, that means that naturally they've been laid a lot longer and they're absorbing air. So the more air it absorbs, the more the egg eventually goes from the bottom and it'll float to the top, yeah. You can also see on the side of the eggs in Australia, it's got a lay date, and it's got a batch number, and it's also got what state it come from. So this is from New South Wales, and the batch number is 1268, and you can all see that on the side there, yep. Yeah, perfect. What we'll do now, guys, is we'll go over to the kitchen bench where I've set up a poaching liquid. We'll all grab an egg each on your way through, and we'll go over and poach an egg. Just jump down here for us. Just jump down here. Come down that way. Alright guys, great. So what I've got here is I've got 2 lots of water. The water over here on the left hand side is plain water, there's no vinegar in it at all. The water on this side here has got vinegar in it, yep. I'll also explain to you here what we've got. So you've got basically a rubber spoon which helps circulates the water when we stir it, yep, and creates a vortex. You've got a ladle here because we're going to do a couple of the ladled eggs, poached ones. You've got a straining spoon here which we use to grab the eggs out and try and leave all the excess water in there. You don't want to pull it out. We've got a timer here because we can time them for 3.5 minutes. And then we've also got some vinegar here. I've also set up a little plate for you all so you can all put your poached egg on it and poach it to the way you like, yeah? So what I'll do first, Geordie, is you to set your egg up first. So I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit more. You can see there's a boil, but we just want a little bit more done. Geordie, right, so circulate the water, give it a really good stir for us. Perfect. That's it. So you can see the water stirring, there's nice bubbles in it. Crack your egg in there, Geordie. There you go. Come over closer, guys, and have a look. You can see the way the egg's turning on itself. The protein's turning in on itself, and the egg's going to form a nice shape, yeah? Nice vortex, it's all spinning around, the algame's spinning around on itself, the calcium's setting, it's great. Alright, perfect. What we'll get is Catherine to spray the ladle. That's Catherine, yeah, give a really good spray in there. Crack your egg into that. I'll hang on to the ladle for you, you just take your time, crack your egg into that. Perfect. Grab your ladle. Just place yours in the water. Place it down in the water, yep, into that water, really slowly. In the water, let the water submerge, there you go, let it get in there. What you're going to see straight away, guys, is that the protein in the egg white's going to set, yep. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit for you, Catherine, so just get ready for the heat. Maybe raise your hand up here a lot higher so your hand's away from the heat. That's it, perfect. This is the second theory, guys, of how we did the other egg, yep. So we poached one egg naturally in the vinegar, and now we're poaching this guy with the ladle, but without any vinegar at all. This is just purely water, yeah. I actually only did this the first time today. I've never poached an egg in a ladle before. As I showed you, it came out all right, but the problem that I seem to have is that the protein on the egg itself goes round to the side, and the yolk seems to stay in the middle and stays a little bit undercooked, while the protein on the outside seems to overcook, yeah? So now what you can do, Catherine, is put that right down on the bottom of it, push the ladle to the end, cross out the side, like so, like that, and just let your ladle go. Geordie, how's your egg looking?
Pretty good, yeah.
Looking pretty good. Is that, would you poach it a bit more, or is that how you'd eat it? You'd eat that one like that? Yeah. Alright, perfect. So Geordie will strain his egg. A little bit under, you're going to eat it, or you're going to wait a bit longer?
I'd wait a little longer.
A little bit longer? Okay, give it a little bit longer. Give it a little bit more heat. What you can see too, guys, is that in Geordie's, if you want to all come forward and have a quick look one by one, you can see how the water's a lot cloudier, because what's happening is that the vinegar has changed the alkaline, it's changed the pH level of the water. By putting the vinegar in it, it changes the pH level of the water, and it helps the vinegar. The vinegar helps the alkaline and the protein in the egg set. But what it does is that once the vinegar heats up, the protein that's left in the water goes cloudy because it doesn't get used, yeah? You can see that one's definitely almost there for Geordie. This one on the other hand over this side, guys, you can see if I move it a bit and bring it to the surface, you can see that it's poaching. But what's happened is that some of the protein has come offset away from the egg, yeah? I think that in layman's terms, you would poach in the ladle if you were doing pre-ladled eggs, like you'd poach them the night before, then you put them into a ice water slurry, yeah? And when they go into the ice water slurry, they stay set instantly because it sets the protein, and then you pull the poached eggs out the next morning when you're getting smashed and you're doing 60, 80, 120 people, you've got, at least you know you've got 80 eggs already pre-poached and ready, yeah? Then all you would do is just place them into boiling water quickly, heat the egg yolk up, heat it up quickly, and you'd be able to serve the egg, I'd say in probably about under 50 seconds, maybe a minute, as opposed to a 3.5 minute to poach an egg, yeah? So I reckon, Geordie, your egg's probably all good. Yeah. Bring it over onto your little plate there for yourself, Geordie. Right. Crack into it. Fork. Yeah. Perfect. Nice and runny. Velvety colour. Beautiful. Perfect poached egg. Alright, so we will go Miss Grace next, yeah? Pull the lid off this bad guy. Grab this, Grace. Circulate it, so give it a really good stir, yep. That's it, perfect. Give me that guy. Yep, crack your egg into the middle. That's it, beautiful, Grace. So you can see how it's circulating, the egg white's circulating perfectly, yep. It's coming to the top the exact way you want it, and that's great. I would say if you want to come over here, Catherine, you could probably grab your egg out now if you wanted to. What I would do, Catherine, is, I'd grab the female spoon, push it against the side of the ladle and push any of the excess water out of it. There you go. Throw your poached egg on your little plate there, Catherine. Some people they would say that egg's undercooked. For me personally, I love my eggs that way and I'd happily eat it. You can see the difference, but where some of the egg and the protein has been caught on the bottom of it, and this is the theory where you'd have to constantly spray the ladle to be able to get it from neutralising, without a doubt. So that's a learning curve without a doubt. Kevin, you want to grab your boy and just centralise it in the water that's got no vinegar in it. That's it, perfect, mate. Take that for you. Right. Perfect egg, straight down into the water, centralising, getting a bit of heat. What we'll do, guys, is while we're waiting for this, if you've got your little test there that I handed out to you, just grab that and we'll just read through the answers quickly. Alright, so I'll just ask one question of everybody and you just give me your answer. Geordie, first question.
Describe the process to test an egg, test the freshness of the egg. And it's the floating in the water.
Floating in the water, perfect. Catherine, your question too?
Name 3 dishes you could use poached egg on. Poached egg on toast.
Yep.
Eggs Benedict.
Yep.
And
Classic Caesar salad.
for the Caesar salad.
Perfect. Grace, your question 3?
What acid is normally used to poach an egg? Vinegar?
Perfect. Brad, question 4, mate?
If you wanted to sous vide an egg for a poached egg, what temperature should I set the machine at? 65 degrees.
Yeah, perfect. And Kevin, last question?
If you're using 5 liters, how many vinegar should be put in the poached egg? I suggest a pint of egg.
Yeah, perfect, great. So you've all answered the little quiz I've given you, which is great. You've all got a great idea of how to float and what the freshness of eggs. You've also all got a great idea of a couple different variations of eggs, a couple different ways to serve it. Eggs Florentine, you've got your poached egg, you've got your eggs on toast, and you've also got a poached egg that can go into a bacon and egg burger. Yep. You also realise how much water you need to poach an egg. You also know how much vinegar to poach egg, and you've all got the essence of it, which is the start, which is basically how to test your eggs if they're going to be any good or not. Yep. So what we'll do next is I'll get you, Grace, your egg. Is that good enough for you, Grace?
Yeah.
Is that done enough?
That's
Perfect.
good, thank you.
Yep. Let's throw it on. Throw it on your bad boy there like that. Sensational. Crack your yolk open with your fork. Yeah, nice, Grace. Beautiful velvet colour. Nice set egg, yep. Okay, great. Brad, you want to grab your egg and start your centralisation? There we go. He's got the spoon, perfect. He's going to skim some of the excess egg protein and egg white off, yeah, which is great. What Brad's doing by doing that too, guys, it just makes it easy to see into the pot, yeah, so you know where your egg's at. Centralised water. Egg straight in, perfect, great.
Will it take, Chef, about 2.5, 3 minutes?
3 minutes, I reckon, for a normal egg that most people would eat. Yeah, I personally would, like I said before, I like the 2 eggs the guys have cooked already here.
Yeah.
The ones that have got a lot of yolk in them, they're nice and runny. I think personally myself, if you're going to eat a poached egg, the reason you do it for 2 reasons. One is the health reason, because there's no fried oils at all, and 2, because an egg yolk itself should be runny. I rarely find I ever poach an egg for anybody that asks for a hard poached egg. Sorry, they generally love the runniness of the yolk, and that's why they eat it. Yeah.
And if someone did come for a hard poached egg,
You'd be about 4 minutes, yeah, about an extra 50 minutes. Most people say their average time for a good poached egg is about 3 minutes 20. Definitely a hard poached egg would be, I'd say 3:40, maybe 4 minutes, yeah, without a doubt. Kevin, you can come over and grab yours, mate. I think yours is ready. Is that enough for you, Kevin? Yeah, would you eat it like that?
That's good, yeah.
Yep.
goes a what? Just in water.
100% water. If you poach it, if the temperature's right, you really don't have to put vinegar in it, yeah? Perfect. Great looking egg, Kevin. Give it a crack, mate. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful colour. That's perfect too, yeah? Nice colour. Great. So guys, as I said before, poaching eggs, you know, it's a real art. It takes a fair bit of practice, yeah? I've worked with a lot of chefs that are really amazing chefs, and they still struggle to poach an egg properly. So you've all done a great job today. All your eggs have got good shape, they've got good form, they're nice and healthy, they look fresh, they look great. I'd happily eat any of your eggs today, guys, so that's great. We've got the last egg coming out. This is Brad.
A little bit under.
Just a little bit under.
That's how I like them.
That's how he likes them. Let's get that over there, move that guy there for him. Perfect, beautiful shape. You can tell this is going to run straight away. It's going to be sensational. Yeah, look at that. I'd eat that egg too. Some people would say it's a little bit underdone. Personally, myself, I wouldn't. I love my egg looking like that. Yeah. Some people say when it's a little bit clear, they're still not keen on it. I have to tell you the truth. As long as it's warm and you've got it over the 65 degrees, which is the temperature danger zone, I have no problems with the way you eat your eggs at all. Yeah. So guys, that's basically us poaching eggs today. You've learned how the float test, you've learned how to poach them in 2 different ways. We've done them with a ladle, we've done them with a pot of water, we've done them with a pot that's just vinegar. What I'll finish up with is asking how do you guys eat your egg? Do you eat it really soft, Geordie, or is it medium? You're really soft?
Really soft.
Yeah. Catherine, how do you like your eggs?
The medium one.
Medium one, yeah, not too soft, yeah. Kevin, yourself?
Running egg.
A little bit runny, yeah. Grace, you?
Medium.
You're medium, yeah. Brad?
I'm a soft egg man with
You're
bacon.
a soft egg man with bacon?
Yeah.
Nice, I like it. All right, guys. So this is Chef Che, trainer, signing off. I just want to say thanks to the guys who came into the kitchen today. Thanks, Geordie. Thanks, Catherine, Kevin. Thanks, Grace. Thanks, my friend Brad. So we've all poached eggs today. We've had a really good look at it. We've all learned the theories of the eggs. We've all learned the equipment. We've done our little mini test, and we've all successfully passed. So I just want to say thanks, guys, and super job and well done. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Great.